And again from the sports desk, the Council of Education Ministers has suspended all contact sports in schools with immediate effect. Non-contact sports training in schools can continue, provided that all safety protocols are adhered to. The suspensions come in the wake of the spike in new infections, with a third wave hitting parts of the country. President of Netball South Africa, Cecilia Molokwane, says government should have handled this differently.
Look, it's a disturbing thing because it was helping us in a way, especially because netball is one of them. And we just launched the DSTV School Netball Challenge, and now we're having this going on. To me, we should have maybe looked at where it's hitting and how it's hitting, and get to get a way of going out of there, not shutting it down altogether. Because to me, sports goes with education, and if a child is active, the child will perform. And remember, an idle mind is a very dangerous mind. So to me, we must give them an opportunity to play. So I think we should ask our government to review on what they've said about contact sport, and look at those sporting codes that are affected and how we can help so as we can continue with our sport.
To athletics in South Africa may have a new sprint sensation in Shaun Maswanganyi, and Akani Simbine's throne as SA Sprint King may already be under threat. The 20-year-old Maswanganyi announced himself as a worthy successor in the 100 metres in Florida at the weekend. He got close to breaking the 9.89-second South African senior record after finishing at a time of 9.87. However, wind reading was an illegal 3.8, which meant that the time could not be recognised. So, Simbine's mark of 9.89 still stands. Maswanganyi went on to grab a gold medal in the 200 metres. He joins us now via Zoom from the US. Shaun, hello and welcome. Before we discuss your heroics on the track, tell us about your move to the US and how did that come about?
All right, thank you for having me. So with my move to the US, I kind of focused on not only my degree, but also my track succession, because I really wanted to progress, and I realized that I wanted to expand my wings. And by doing that, I realized the best opportunity for me in my particular case, because I knew that the transition between high school and really university is quite tough. The best way I could handle that was really to go to the States and study there in one of the top universities in Division I athletics.
Those of us a little older than you were astounded to hear that you have the great Carl Lewis as your coach. You weren't even born when he was doing his thing at the Olympics in 88, also 92, 96. Tell us more about Carl as your coach.
I mean, Carl's a great guy. Even when he recruited me, he was very nice from the get-go. He was energetic, and every day he brings that same energy to practice. He looks forward to coaching the guys. And, they call University of Houston H-Town Speed City, and that's the brand he and pretty much everyone else in the team represents, and we're here for it. So for us to be in his presence every day, sometimes you don't even realize how much of a celebrity he still is today, because we'll just be warming up at practice, and, a couple of guys will be like, "Oh, Carl, can we get a photo with you?" And, it's pretty cool to be in that atmosphere because, he's there, he's humble, he's still a great guy, he's a great coach, and pretty much the relationship I have with him is pretty great.
What's the one message that he keeps on drumming into you for your sprinting heroics?
I mean, I wouldn't say he has one message. He really has a lot of messages. He's always, pretty much, I can't even really put my finger on it because he does tell me a whole lot of stuff. But if he's not telling me to be great, he's always telling me I must have that winning mentality and that winning mindset.
Now, tell us your feelings at getting that close to Akani Simbine's national record of 9.89 seconds. Only the wind denying you this time round.
I mean, for me, when I crossed the line, I already knew it was a fast time because I really executed that race. And I actually almost fell at the end because I was overwhelmed with joy. And when I looked up to the board, I saw 987 and I saw the win. And I'm like, it kind of makes sense. But I realized it kind of opened up a new way of me thinking and a new possibility of me believing myself even more. It really boosted my confidence. And I know that within the next couple of years, time, I should be able to really come close, if not break the record. Because, I mean, records are meant to be broken.
Your time in the 200 meters is just as impressive. Any preference, 100 or 200 meters?
Really, I'm starting to like the 200 a lot more because I've really grown to love the event. I started the event really competitively in 2019, and the amount of progress I've made really within just 2 years, 3 years is astounding. I've made more progress in the 200 than the 100, like in terms of like a huge difference. So the 200 has really grown to be really my strongest suit.
Now, a lot more people back home here in South Africa has obviously come to know of you. Your thoughts on getting into Team South Africa for the upcoming Olympics?
So I've been in contact with Athletics South Africa, especially Coach Paul, who is the SA Relay Sprints coach. And him and I have a good relationship, we have a good understanding. I know what I need to do from my part as an athlete, and I know what times I need to run. So far, I am in the preliminary relay squad. I was supposed to actually come for a couple of relay camps, but, due to the coronavirus situation in South Africa, it is a little bit tough for me to travel, especially with being a college student. So so far, so good. I do plan to come back home, and we do plan to have a few relay camps with the guys, and hopefully, I'll be able to be part of the Olympic squad.
Shaun Maswanganyi, remember the name, destined for a great thing still. South Africa's new sprint sensation, chatting to us about his thoughts on his recent performances and the possibility of going to the Tokyo Olympics. That's your sport for the moment. Back to yourself.